Well, Robertson Albrecht will kick this one off. A tie game after one half of play at DeSanto Field in Cleveland. And on senior day, Case trying to remain unbeaten. And we're going to get a flag on the play. Devon McWhirter on the return. That looked like it might have been a horse collar tackle on Chase Whitty. Going to get another look at it here. As McWhirter approaches the sideline, there's Whitty. Might have gotten those fingers inside the pads. So Jimmy Burks, our head referee, with the official call. And that sets up Bethany in pretty decent field position here on their own 44. They'll head out with Carlin Basin and a 3-wide set. Right in the backfield. Avent off to the right. Basin will keep it. Amadio and Brown in on that stop after 1 yard. In the first half, Bethany put the ball on the ground more often than not. 23 rushing plays for 84 yards. 87 yards through the air on 10 attempts. Or on 16 attempts, I beg your pardon. Second and 9 from the 45. Basin drops back. Flag's going to fly. That's going to be a hold. Basin will get out near the first down marker, but it looked like Brown, trying to get the edge, got grabbed.
Yeah, either Brown or Josh Smith. Looked like that was potentially going to be the first sack of the day for the Spartans defense, and the offensive lineman had to make a judgment call. Am I going to get my quarterback killed here or give a little tug and see what happens?
Looking at that replay, you could have called 3 holds there. Brown, Smith, and Poltrak all got tugged a bit.
Yeah, and that's what they got to get back to. That's when this Case Western defense really starts to hum, is when Brown and Smith are running around back there, Poltrak on the inside, Gershenson's helping out in any way that he can, and that's when you get the quarterback out of the pocket, he starts getting a little skittish, and then the DBs can really thrive on some poor decisions.
It'll be second down and 20. Ball on the 34. They've got to get to the Case 46. Basin, as the sun starts to peek through the clouds at DeSanto Field, will shift to the right, then back to the left. A flag flies again as Travis Johnston grabs Basin's ankles.
And it looks like another hold. Coach Deblack will emphatically accept that penalty.
If you're Bethany, this cannot be what kills you in this game. You're tied at the end of the half. And for them, they've been pretty disciplined. As we mentioned before, they come into today as the most penalized team in the conference, and it didn't really show in the first half. They did a nice job, but at the start of the second half, we have seen the laundry all over the turf.
Yeah, it's just going to make life extremely difficult. I mean, you see, they second and 30 now, and this is one of the top defenses in the country, and if you do have a hope of moving the ball on them, you cannot be shooting yourself in the foot like they have on this drive.
Second and 30, Basin throwing, easy pitch and catch to Stephon Carter. Gets about 5-6 yards there. Third down and long. Third and 24 from the 30-yard line. Abe Lyles, who has the lone touchdown reception for Bethany, checking in. Hunter Klein at the bottom of your screen right next to him. 4-wide set on third and long. They'll dump it off to Klein over the middle, trying to get him some running room, and gets out near midfield before he's ridden out of bounds. Travis Johnston was there. It'll be fourth, and would have been manageable if they would have kept the offense on the field, but Bill Garvey is going to play this conservatively and decide that with all those penalties, he's pretty well won the field position back.
Yeah, one thing that I think Bethany can realize at this point is they're in this game. They don't necessarily need to be super aggressive and take a ton of risks. They don't have to pull out all the trick plays that they might normally think that they need to employ in a game like this where they're, pretty big underdogs.
That's blocked. Travis Johnston got his hand up, and the Spartans are going to have phenomenal field position.
There he is. There's our guy. He's returning kicks. I won't even get into it. You guys know who he is. You know how versatile he is and how he's going to make an impact on the game in pretty much every way possible. And, special teams and penalties, those are two things that if you're an underdog team, you have to control those two aspects in the game. And lo and behold, on that drive, Bethany, 2 holding penalties, backs him up, getting a unfortunate situation with the change. Then Travis Johnson's able to come up and make the huge game-changing play there on special teams.
Anthony Fiasco had a tough day already, averaging 22.7 yards per punt, and that one goes in the opposite direction. So Drew Saxton and company will have the ball on the Bison 26-yard line. Hall in the backfield with Carney. They'll hand it off to Zach Hall, who slithers for 1 or 2 yards there. Bryce Rohrbein on the stop. 2nd down and 9. There's a look at the defense. Warren Miller much more pleased with that drive.
Yeah, he'll take it. And, at this point, Case has just got to find a way to get the victory today.
Saxton for Morgan again. Jump ball at the pylon. No.
Yeah, and Keon Thompson doing pretty much anything he can at that point. It's sometimes with Morgan, you're kind of hanging on for dear life, and you see just any way that he can somewhat impact, Morgan's field of vision or get a body on him. Just whatever you got to do to be able to get the ball out of the big guy's hands. He was there. From Saxon's perspective, it's probably a perfect throw. The only outcome of that throw is either going to be an incompletion or a touchdown. So put it where only your guy can get it, and maybe they come back to that because, like I said, the shot was there.
So 3rd and 9 from the 25. Saxton looking over the middle. Can't get away, and the ball is loose on the turf. The Spartans fall on it. Good break as Josh Slichting is just able to get his hands on it and fall on top of the pigskin. 4th down and 9. Chaz Blango right there. He was the guy who got his arms wrapped around Saxton's legs.
Yeah, we knew. We saw his stat line against Carnegie Mellon, and a player of that caliber, that productive, he's not going to stay quiet for long.
Leads this team in tackles for loss, sacks, and forced fumbles. Had 3.5 sacks against Carnegie. Saxton for Morgan, gets position, catches the football, and he's got a Spartan 1st down.
I think my biggest issue with Colt Morgan is that he makes it look so easy, and you'll see here on the replay, what he's going to be able to do is just let the DB kind of take himself out of the play, run past it, and Colt just kind of slips back. Easy pitch and catch there. So, Saxton knows he's going to have a matchup advantage every single week with Colt Morgan. Nobody physically is going to be able to match up with him. It's just being able to put the ball in a position where he can go out, let his athleticism shine, and make plays like that.
A swim move around Keon Thompson. And it's 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Travis Johnston checks back in at running back, and they'll pitch it to him. Off tackle left. Tried to power his way through a couple of white shirts and didn't get very far in the end. Keandre Murphy helping on the stop, along with Mike Berry. 2-yard gain, 2nd and goal from the 6.
Case Western, at least today, has shown that as they get down in this area of the field, they're going to be almost exclusively run. Doesn't mean they can't bail out of here, run a bootlegger, kind of throw up the fade to Morgan here at the bottom. There it is.
Saxton looking for Morgan. There's the flag, and that's as easy as it gets. Kieran Eggleston was basically shoving Colt Morgan with no attention paid to the football.
No, you got to get your head turned around. And, that's another positive outcome that you're going to have with Morgan. He might not catch everything, but probably half the time that he doesn't catch it, he's going to be able to draw a penalty like that. And that'll just reload the down marker for the Spartans and put them back at 1st and goal.
So pass interference on the senior Kieran Eggleston will set up 2nd down and goal. 1st down and goal from about the 1-yard line. Saxton rolling out right, trying to cut it back and dive for the goal line. Touchdown!
And in all the years of watching Coach Deblack's offense, I don't know if I've ever seen a true reverse out speed option like that, but Saxton did what it took to get in the end zone and able to put his head down and kind of show a little bit of his power and athleticism we don't necessarily see on a weekly basis.
There were about 3 white jerseys trying to wrap him up, and Saxton had a nose for the goal line to put Case in front. Robertson Albrecht to tack on. So Case gets a blocked punt from Travis Johnston and a rushing score from Drew Saxton to take the lead at the start of the 2nd half.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Drew Saxton with the touchdown run after the Travis Johnston blocked punt, and Case back in front 21-14 over Bethany College. Saxton plunging to the goal line. It's the Spartans' first lead of this football game, Andrew.
Yeah, and if you're the Spartans defense, you finally have a lead. The offense finally came through for you. It's time for you to stand up and really show what you're made of on this drive. Whether it's a 3 and out, it doesn't matter. As long as Bethany's punting the ball, that's what's the goal on this drive.
McWhirter on the return, tried to spin away from a tackle and gets dropped at about the 26-yard line.
You can finally see a little life on the Case Western sideline, and I don't know, call it what you want. The sun's out. They finally feel a little bit of a spark, and like I said, look for them to come out, look for Coach Miller to be aggressive, use his athletes, get after the quarterback, and, kind of get back to this defense that we saw the first, 7-8 weeks of this season.
You mentioned the athletes, Cam Brown, Josh Smith, Adam Poltrak. They all factored pretty heavily into the pass rush last Bethany drive for the first time in this ball game, forcing a couple of holding penalties. Carlin Basin will hand it off to Greg Avent. Trying to spin away from a couple tackles. And the senior from Glen Burnie, Maryland, picks up a couple yards, 2nd and 8 from the 28. There could be nothing better for the Spartans here than to get a 3 and out after that dominant start to the 3rd quarter. Basin looking left side, gets Stephon Carter, and Bethany will get close to the 1st down. Looks like they've got the spot, and they'll move the chains.
And like we said, Spartans defense looking to come out, make a statement, go 3 and out. And if you're Bethany, every single 1st down is huge. It continues to keep that confidence that you built up in the 1st half. And, interesting to see that Basin's able to get more into the passing game. Not that he's not capable of it, but they were just so run heavy in the 1st half. And now they're showing a little bit of confidence and letting them sling it around a little.
Stephon Carter getting a fair share of the football. Basin gets hit as he throws, and that ball is incomplete. Through the hands of the intended target, Carter, as Basin went to the turf, and the football ends up on the turf as well, about 60 yards away.
Yeah, and if you looked in the backfield, Cam Brown's able to get a clean shot at Basin there, something he hasn't really had all afternoon. And then also on the back end, Gabe Dory able to make that play heard for the wide receiver there. So any chance you can get to, at least get in the head of the offense, you got to take advantage of it. And again, when Bethany has been able to be successful on offense today, it's because they've been productive on first and second down. Looking at 2nd and 10 here, I'd look for positive yardage and, having come out and thrown the ball a little bit here with Basin, I would think they're going to get back to their rushing attack at some point.
There is the rushing attack with Avent trying to get the edge and gets the first down. Thundering around a couple tackles and moving the chains for Bethany.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of chippiness here out there on the field. And, hey, if you're watching at home, that's what you want. Coming into this game, we thought Case Western was going to come out and completely dominate. And like we said, Bethany's been able to absorb the punches and, throw a couple of their own back at the Spartans. So I would think we're in for a pretty good game the rest of the way out.
1st and 10 from the 48. This drive has been a lot more balanced for Carlin Basin and Bethany. Flag flies. Basin pursued. Spartans want another flag. They'll get 2 more as Basin's dragged down after a 2-yard gain at the 50 by Adam Poltrak. But good grief, all the laundry on the field and a lot of infractions from the offensive line.
Yeah, we're at a minimum going to get a blindside block here on the offensive line. Looks like 61, who, of course, disagrees with the call. But at least 1 penalty on Bethany, possibly 2. We'll see how it shakes out.
That was Brandon Sibley, the junior right guard, on that blind block on Josh Smith. Looked to be a hold or 2 there as well. They were double teaming Cam Brown. He might have gotten tugged a bit. Brandon Sibley is incensed and emphatic that his block was legal. You see him at the top of your screen now, and a moment ago he had his arms outstretched. And he does again. They're cleaning up the flags.
Yeah, and that's something that's, whether it's new this year or last year, I can't honestly remember, but they call these blindside blocks now. So if you think back, everyone's always looking for they call it a lookout block. You see it on punt returns a lot. Defender will be chasing after the ball carrier, and someone will crack back on him and really get a good shot. And football's really tried to, for safety reasons, tried to get that hit out of the game. So if the defender is, not looking or pursuing the ball carrier, you can get in his way. It's usually going to help you out if you keep your arms up in the air, but you can't lower your shoulder and completely take him out like the offensive lineman did on that play. So it's something that's new. That's probably why the offensive lineman's so frustrated with it. It's a new rule, and people just have to adjust to it.
Brandon Sibley, all PAC honorable mention last year, gets flagged, and it's 1st and 31. Cam Brown wraps him up. It's a loss of a yard. Cameron Brown dropping Carlin Basin. And it'll set up 2nd and 32.
I can't believe we're on drive 2 of the quarter, and this is the second time we've seen 2nd and 30. But like we touched on, Bethany's going to, for better or worse, kind of live and die by the penalties. And they've had issues with it so far in the second half, and it's really hampered their offensive effort.
Now Basin rolling out, looking to throw. Tipped and incomplete, looking for Avent. So that is officially, by the way, on that tackle by Cam Brown, that is going to be registered as a sack. So for Cameron Brown, that is a new Spartan career sack record. He passes Dale English, who had 33 in his career. Cam now has 33 and a half, surpassing English, who played for this program from 2008 to 2011.
Yeah, and sorry, Dale, you had a good run, and hey, if anything they say you want your kids to be more successful than you, so that's what happened. Testament to Cam Brown's work ethic throughout his career and just being Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable, and congratulations to Cam and all the coaches that were involved getting him to this point.
3rd and 32 from the 26, and we'll get a timeout.
Inova Living is a modern, amenity-rich residential community located in Cleveland's Greater University Circle neighborhood, offering studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy all-inclusive living with convenient on-site shopping, 24-hour concierge services, a 24-hour fitness center, resident lounge, and more. All within close proximity to Case Western Reserve University. Innova Living online at innovaliving.com.
So his Spartan record has fallen as Cameron Brown picks up his 33.5 career sack, 33.5 sacks by Brown in his Spartans career. He gets it at home on senior day, passes Dale English for the Spartan program record. Case up by a touchdown. Carlin Basin running on 3rd and 32 after the timeout, and it'll be 4th and long now. The punting unit should come out for Bethany.
We'll see. Last time the punting unit was on the field, Travis Johnson able to knife through and get the block punt. We'll see if Coach Deblack wants to come after it again because, as you've said, Andrew, they haven't had the cleanest punts, haven't had the cleanest operation time today, and it's obviously been a weakness for them.
Before that block punt, Fiasco was averaging under 23 yards per punt. They'll get a little bit more protection in there. Spartans look like they're bringing the house. Fiasco gets it off. Mario Rabina backing up. It's a good punt. He fields it at about his own 20-yard line. Shifts around one tackle and dives ahead. He'll get the spot at the 30-yard line. Case up by one score. They have led but once today. Bethany took an early lead on a touchdown by Carlin Basin. Travis Johnston tied it for the Spartans on a 3-yard run. Abe Lyles put Bethany back in front at the start of the second quarter on an 8-yard pass from Dom Salinetro. Colt Morgan tied it on a 13-yard pass from Drew Saxton, and then Drew ran it in. Now they'll give it to Donald Day III on a stretch run to the right. Tripped up after a gain of about 1. Jermaine Snodgrass gets the ankles of Donald. They'll give him 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Hurry up from Saxton. Over the middle, Rabina. Gobbled up quickly. 3rd down and medium distance. Mike Berry, the senior, with the tackle. Now they'll slow it down on 3rd and 5. 4 wide, Day in the backfield. Just over 5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Saxton gets the snap and drops back. Taking a shot down the right side. It's caught by Mario Rabina on a foot race. And he is tripped up on an ankle tackle at about the 5-yard line. What a terrific job by Keandre Murphy to chase him down, but that's a big gain for the Spartans.
Yeah, by far the biggest pass play and rush play, just biggest offensive play of the afternoon for the Spartans. And a little sideline warning on Case Western, getting a little too excited. But back to the play, I mean, beautiful throw by Saxton. Rabina able to run it down and then show off a little bit of the speed, and yards after the catch, getting the Spartans into a great position here with 1st and goal. And I was curious how Case Western was going to respond. First time coming out, having a lead on offense, and it was going to be important for them to get back to their old ways and try and extend this lead in any way that they can.
Under 5 to play, 3rd quarter. Carney and Johnston out in the backfield. Morgan the only wideout. They'll pitch left side. Johnston trying to slice back up the middle and spun off a tackle but fell down. 1 yard gain, 2nd and goal from the 4. Finally, Case getting a little bit of a ground game going, and that opens things up for that deep ball to Rabina. Now they're really set up. Saxton pitches right. Johnston has a hole. He's in for his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Spartans have a 2-score lead.
Yeah, they finally hit pay dirt with that little sweep that they've been running all day, and Travis Johnson making a heck of a case for player of the game, like we said. Block punt, been a leader of the defense as he is on a weekly basis, and now his second rushing touchdown of the day. So really impressed with the Case Western offense, able to come out, extend this lead, and this is when they can really put the pedal to the metal. When they have that lead, they have the other team on their heels, and they can kind of take off from there.
Robertson Albrecht, good on the PAT. Travis Johnston has returned kicks. He has punted. He's played inside linebacker, and now he has 2 rushing touchdowns in his first week as a Spartan running back. Case up by 2 scores late in the third quarter.
With 31 unique creations to choose from, there's something for everyone to love at Dave's Cosmic Subs. Meat lovers, vegetarians, and everyone in between agree that our freshly baked bread, high-quality ingredients, and homemade sauces make us the best in Cleveland. Come on into Dave's Cosmic Subs Coventry to experience legendary subs in a cosmic atmosphere. And don't forget, we deliver. It's as easy as dialing 216-320-0330. Be the hit of the party. Order Dave's.
The second half is presented by Dave's Cosmic Subs, and the second half, Andrew, has been much kinder to the Spartans than the first half, outscoring Bethany 14-0 since the break and leading 28-14.
Yeah, both offense and defense, they've finally been able to be the aggressor. I thought Bethany came out with a lot of energy, able to get a couple early turnovers, and that really gave them the confidence to kind of do whatever they wanted on offense and defense against this Case Western team. But 21st ranked team in the country, not going to be able to keep them down for too long, and that's what we've seen in this third quarter. Case Western able to get 2 scores on both drives coming out, and you look up and it goes from tie game to down 2 scores. So on Bethany, going to be a little tough just because they're pretty limited on offense as far as the run and pass goes, but we've seen them being able to move the ball throughout the day so far.
Devon McWhorter from around the 16 tries to go wide and gets tripped up. That was Caleb Montgomery on the tackle. And it'll be at the 25 for Bethany. We saw them, Andrew, last time have a bit of a more balanced offensive attack. The first half, Bethany was pretty heavy on the ground. We'll see if they put the ball in the air a little bit more, especially down by 2 scores.
Yeah, throughout the first half, we saw the 2 quarterback look, and it's been pretty much this basin. So far in the second half, we see Wright here breaking off one of his better runs of the day.
It was one of his better runs. Amadio and Crossy take him down. That'll move the chains. 28-14 Spartans. Travis Johnston has done a little bit of everything in this ball game. Playing as a running back for the first time today. 2 rushing scores, the latest to put the Spartans up 28-14. Basin will keep this one, and he'll get near another first down. Depends on the spot, but that could be back-to-back first down runs, one by Wright, one by Basin, and in fact it is.
And if you're Bethany, yeah, you're down 2 scores, and yes, you run the ball a lot, but it's not even in the fourth quarter yet. I think trust Basin, trust your offensive game plan, and trust what works for you. And so far, you see them coming out with a rushing attack, 2 straight first down runs. We'll see if it can continue.
It's a quarterback keeper on the option. Basin gets around Kevin Christis, but there's going to be a flag, and I think it's possible that Abe Lyles gets whistled for a hold here.
Yeah, we talked earlier about the instincts of Kevin Christis, and one of his other better traits is if he gets held, you're going to know it. You're going to see the whole world's going to be able to see with his arms up. So Christis able to draw the hold, and a lot of times from a defensive perspective, if you are able to draw that holding penalty, that means you beat your guy, you're able to get in a solid position, and they really had no choice but to hold you.
And Christis has had another great year. He and Luke Bedell tied for the team lead with 3 interceptions each on a team that has the 12th most interceptions in the nation coming into today. It was Abe Lyles on that hold. 1st and 16 from the 40. Basin and the Bison hoping that penalty don't stall this drive. It's a low snap. Brown chasing after Basin. And the ball is loose. The Spartans have it. Here's Travis Johnston, and he's pushed out of bounds by Benjamin Wright but Case will get the ball right back.
We talked about it. Turnovers can either make or break this game, and you see the Case Western defense able to force a fumble there, and then Mr. Johnny on the spot, Travis Johnson, 22, able to come up with it. And the only shocking part about that play is that Travis Johnson wasn't able to score on it. So Case Western defense stepping up, continuing to put the ball back into their offense's hands, and see if they're able to extend this lead any further.
Sideline warning on Bethany there. By the way, Kevin Chrisis, whom we just talked about, was the guy who forced that ball loose, and it popped right into the arms of Travis Johnston. Johnston will get a break now, by the way. He won't be in at running back just yet.
I mean, so the point if he goes to take a breather and get water, it's becoming a pretty selfish move on his part. Every time he's out there, special teams, offense, defense seems like it's going to be a positive, but he'll let Saxon the offense shine for now.
Here is Donald Day III. In terms of percentage of time on the floor, or his percentage of time on the turf, he is getting playing time that you'd be more used to seeing from one of the top players in the NBA than a player in Division III football.
Yeah, I think the message is if you're a good athlete and you make plays and the coaches can trust you to pick up different schemes, they're going to put you out there. They want to keep their best 11 guys on the field at all times.
2nd and 9. Morgan with a stiff arm and gets out of bounds. We've seen Johnston now do a great job punting. He has blocked a punt. He has recovered a fumble. He scored 2 touchdowns. Your Rascal House player of the game is becoming clearer and clearer by the minute.
Yeah, I think, he's been great. I think the entire team has really picked it up here in the second half, especially the offensive line. As any time that Saxon's going to get into a rhythm, it's because the offensive line is allowing him to do that. So they've had a couple injuries, a little banged up. I just think they've done a good job at really tightening up against a pretty talented Bethany defensive line.
3rd and 2. Travis Johnston back out there. He'll get the give. Looks like he's going to be a half-yard shy. 4th and 1 from the 25. They've got to get to the 24. And in this area of the field, Greg Debelak's going to keep the offense out there, and that's no surprise.
Oh, yeah. 0 chance that they are kicking this football. Now, if Saxon drops back and does the quarterback pooch punt, I will eat my words willingly.
And they're going to get the call from the sideline here. There's 11 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout. Think about it.
They have all 3 of their timeouts. And there it is. With 1 second on the play clock, they'll use 1. 4th and 1 from the 25, 33.9 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Friends, remember the Holiday Inn Cleveland Clinic is the preferred partner of CWRU Athletics. Mention CWRU teams when booking your next stay. What's your call here, Andrew, on 4th and 1?
I think you have the athletes up front and then also in the backfield. Just don't overthink it. Trust your offensive line to get 1 yard, and whether that's a QB sneak from Drew Saxton or it's sticking in the belly of Johnson and let him go to work, and then keep it simple, dive right up the middle, and get the first down and get back into your full offense.
Looks like they're going with that jumbo set again with 3 running backs. Turkovsky, number 24, Johnston, number 22, and Brett Carney, number 6. Bethany is loading the box. Turkovsky in motion. There's movement on the right side of the line.
We're all going to point at each other.
It's like that Spider-Man meme.
Yep.
Looked like it might have been Anthony Polizzi.
It's definitely on the right side of the Case Western offensive line. It's just whether they were drawn off or just reacting to the defense.
Again, head referee today, Jimmy Burks. He'll let us know. Well, Case doesn't have to run a play because Mitch Sotera, the freshman defensive tackle, is called for offside, and Case has the first down.
They will take it any way you can get it, especially with how stout that run defense has been for Bethany today. 1 yard could be pretty tough, so get the first down, Case Western's offense back out there, and then go back to work.
Donald Day, the lone man in the backfield on a 4-wide set. Case trying to balloon this 2-touchdown lead. And that pass too tall for Morgan. It is intercepted into the arms of Curon Eggleston.
Yeah, that's, it's a combination of Saxon throwing the ball just a little high, coming in a little hot, then, right or wrong, Morgan kind of popped it up right for the defensive back. And, Bethany able to just kind of stay in the game. Like I said earlier, they wanted to keep this a game going into the fourth quarter. And at 2 scores here, if they would have given up a touchdown going into the fourth, down 21 points, that'd make it extremely difficult to come back against this Case Western team. So a little bit of a break there for Bethany. See if they can capitalize on it again. It's been Basin has been pretty much the entire offense, and we'll see if they're able to get back in any sort of rhythm here against this Case defense.
Maybe no surprise that these defenses have been effective at creating turnovers today. Salinetro drops back, thought about taking a shot, now tucks it. Johnston is part of a Spartan army to knock him down after a gain of 5 or 6. And that should take us to the end of the third quarter. Mentioned both of these teams tied for the conference lead in turnover margin. The Spartans ended a Bison drive by recovering a fumble, and Bethany takes it right back on a Curon Eggleston interception. 2-score game after 3 quarters. The Spartans 28, Bethany 14 on Senior Day in Cleveland.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Inova Living is a modern, amenity-rich residential community located in Cleveland's Greater University Circle neighborhood, offering studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy all-inclusive living with convenient on-site shopping, 24-hour concierge services, a 24-hour fitness center, resident lounge, and more. All within close proximity to Case Western Reserve University. Inova Living online at inovaliving.com.
Into the fourth quarter, presented by Innova. Case Western Reserve University up by 2 scores. Bethany with the football, 2nd and 4 from their own 19. Dumped off to Basin on the left, so Dom Salinetro throws to Carlin Basin. One quarterback plays pitch and catch with another. And that's a Bethany first down. Case, if they hang on, will win the PAC title, at least share the PAC title for the second time since they moved over from the UAA. Second time in the last 3 years. They give to Avent. Michael Amadio and Cam Brown pushing and shoving Avent back. Brute force and sheer will.
That's 5'11", 240-pound Avent, so pretty impressive play by Amadio, able to stick him, square up, wait for help to get him on the ground.
The senior class, of which Cam Brown is a part, looking for the 35th win as a class, as Wright gets the give on 2nd and 9. 4th most wins of any class in program history. Excuse me, they're looking for number 36. They have 35 as a class, and they are 4 behind the record of 39 set by the class of 2010, 2007 to 2010 Spartans. Third and 6 as the Spartan faithful rises to its feet. Basin will roll out. Dumps it off to Avent as Brown dumps him. A flag flies from the far side. Avent won't have enough for the first down, and we'll take a look at the marker. Adam Poltrak helping out on the stop. It would be 4th and about 3 yards. So no flag on the play, and the punt unit comes out for Bethany on 4th and short.
Yeah, impressive stand by the Case Western defense, and at this point, any time that you can force a punt out of Bethany, it's going to be a huge, huge victory for Case Western. They just need to focus, play sound, technical football at this point, and then they'll be able to get out of here with a win.
Anthony Fiasco on his own 20. Mario Rabina inside his own 35 to return. Case looks like it's bringing the heat. Fiasco will dump it off. Not enough. Turnover on downs.
I'm shocked. I thought they had it. Initially, it went from a blocked punt opportunity to a fake, oh my God, they're going to get it, and then Case Western was able to rally the ball and get the stop there. And, you know, Blanco in the open field is kind of a terrifying sight, so impressed by the Case Western defense, able to get them on the ground, stop them short, and now Bethany's really in trouble because Case Western offense has gotten some momentum going, gotten into a good rhythm, and letting them start with the ball on the 33-yard line is going to be a really tall task for this Bethany defense. And
maybe no surprise that it was the senior DB Munyaradzi Mangwende to make that stop. Drew Saxton from the shotgun. Hand off to Zach Hall. Gets out to about the 30. You played with Money, senior out of Baltimore, Maryland. 4th-year regular for this defense, and he was injured against this Bethany team a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. I was 6 feet away from it when he, not to get too involved, but had a broken arm issue on a kickoff. And one of his best traits is that he's going to be really, really fast, and he's going to kind of play with reckless abandon. So your only hope is that he can somehow work himself out of position, because if he's going in the right direction, he knows what his job is, he's going to be a serious problem for anybody that's in front of him.
2nd and 8 for the Spartan offense, trying to go up 3 scores. Saxton fakes the give to Hall, rolls out right, and his throw was too low. Looking for Brett Carney out of the backfield with Mike Berry pursuing him.
Yeah, Berry made sure that even if that ball was caught, it was only going to be a 1 or 2 yard gain. Bethany defense having to deal with the sudden change that we talked about. 3rd and long here for the Spartans. I would look for them to go to the air, just be, you know, given the down and distance, and then also the difficulty that they've had with this Bethany defense up front.
It'll be a 4 wide set. Hall in the backfield. Let's see if Case can get a mismatch. They've got Rabina covered by a linebacker in the slot position, covered by Snodgrass. Saxton slips away from Gibson and heaves one wide and out of bounds. There's a flag on the play near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we'll get a holding penalty here, so even if Saxton had found a way to complete that, it was going to be coming back. We'll see. I would think that Bethany's going to decline, but yes, anything's possible.
Looked like Josh Schlichting, the left tackle, on that. He was grabbing at the shoulder pads of the pursuing Daniel Gibson. Brett Carney checks in. Looks like the offense will remain on the field in this no man's land part of the turf. So 4th down, it was Schlichting on the hold. Penalty declined. 4th and 8 from the 31. Hall right behind Saxton in the pistol. Drew drops back. Looking left, tossing it tall, looking for Wykowski. It's out of bounds and a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I mean, one of the issues as a quarterback, if you throw it out of bounds, you're just not going to have any chance. So kind of a misfire there by Saxton. Thought he had the matchup with Wykowski, and the Bethany defense is able to hold. They they have a chance here to take the ball. If they're able to find the end zone somehow on this play, then they'll get themselves back into this game right away. But Case Western's defense has, I guess, found an extra gear here in the second half. It's going to be tough sledding for them.
Case up 28-14 over Bethany. Remember, stop by after the game at the Jolly Scholar for 10% off. And get Jolly. 1st and 10 for Carlin Basin. He will keep it, and he'll get knocked to the turf by Travis Johnston. Gain of 4 on the play. By the way, Travis Johnston today now has 6 tackles on defense. That's thrown over the middle for Hunter Klein, incomplete. So a 6-tackle day for Johnston. That's the 4th most on this defense. Plus 2 touchdowns on offense, a heck of a job punting, and a blocked punt.
And when you think of, some of the national awards or conference awards, I don't know how they're going to find a way to put him on the D3 football team of the week, because 6 tackles alone isn't that great, and his rushing performance alone isn't that great. So maybe we'll have to create a utility position for him.
Now a 3rd and 6 for Bethany, and an important one. Basin tripped up in the backfield. Josh Smith got his hands on Bason's ankle, and Carlin couldn't stay on his feet. It's 4th down.
Yeah, just Josh Smith able to get a fingertip on the ankle, and sometimes that's all it takes, able to get him down. And Bethany, again, forced to come out here and punt. The offense has been completely different here in the second half. Case Western, all credit to the coaching staff and the players going in at halftime, making the adjustments, and looking much, much better here.
So Fiasco is out to punt again, and Case is going to put the pressure on him. Fiasco gets this one off, one of his better punts today. Rabina fields it about the 26-yard line. Stephon Carter helping to take him down just past the 35. So 10:55 to go in the 4th. Case up by 2 scores. They have just barely escaped 2 weeks in a row, and Andrew, after being tied following the first half and never leading until the beginning of the 3rd quarter, it looked like another one of these games for Case that you were going to have your heart in your throat, but the Spartans have gotten it together in the second half.
Yeah, and they, as we mentioned, this is, today they need to go 1-0 today, but this is step 1 of a bigger picture. And with that in mind, they need to get some positive momentum going here. Do not take your foot off the pedal. This is a 2-score game. There's no reason that it should stay that way the rest of the way out.
Zach Hall on the give on 1st down. Jermaine Snodgrass in on that stop, along with Evan Wachter. Second down and 7 after a 3-yard keep. Case took its first lead on a 1-yard run by Drew Saxton, and then added on a Travis Johnston 4-yard run, and it was Johnston who blocked the punt that set up the Saxton go-ahead TD. And we'll get whistles and a Case timeout. So even up 2 scores at this stage in the ball game, Greg Debelak wants to make sure everybody has their heads in the game here.
Yeah, taking the timeout, and that Coach Debs, he'll do that. You see it every week if something doesn't look right or the motion's off and he thinks that it's going to be a dead play. Just take the timeout, regroup, because, again, this offense is looking to kind of get back into their old ways. They're really, really humming there at the beginning and kind of the middle part of the season. Want to get back to that team that was dropping 30, 40 points on anybody that walked into the stadium, and if that means taking a timeout, getting into the right play, and able to move the sticks again, he will do that.
So they'll reset things here. Case will have 1 timeout left, by the way. Bethany has 2. Bison coming off a bye week last week. They are on a 2-game winning streak, having defeated Geneva and Carnegie Mellon. They'll get Teal and St. Vincent to wrap up the season the following 2 weeks. Saxton under center. We hardly see that. Hand off to Hall. Breaks free. And nearly got enough for the first down. Or does he have enough for the first down? Looks like they're going to give him the good spot. Well, he had enough for the first down, and he nearly got around the one more guy he had to beat in order to get free for a touchdown.
You know, Keandre Murphy and all 5'7", 150 pounds of him came down from his free safety spot and kind of put an end to that run in a pretty emphatic way. But big run for Hall, able to move the sticks, and I think Case Western will get a little more run happy as they try and work this clock.
One of their better gains on the ground from a single play today. Same play. Hall off tackle right. Gets enough of that edge running around Snodgrass, and he gets to the 50. And they'll spot it maybe just on the other side of the 50 for a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 on the 49. If they can pick up 3-4 yards of play here and chew a lot more clock, that'll be just fine for the Spartans, even if they don't get into the end zone here. Play clock at 3. Saxton gives to Carney. Just like you said, we're seeing a lot more of the ball on the ground.
Yep, now they get into 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, that area, so I would think they would go back to the air. And at this point for the Case Western offense, it's about picking up first downs, chewing that clock, staying in a good rhythm, and just making sure that you're able to execute.
They'll have Colt Morgan just off your screen at the bottom, guarded by Dadrick Vickers. The only man at the top is Keandre Murphy, backed up to the 30. Bethany looks like it's bringing some heat. 4-man rush. Intercepted! No! In and out of the hands of Phil Taylor, who nearly had his 2nd of the afternoon.
Yeah, he had it. He saw it. He read it perfectly, jumped the route, and Saxton had no idea that he was coming underneath that one. So good play for Taylor. Just wasn't able to complete the catch. And you know, Bethany hanging around. It's only a 2-score game. They've shown an ability to move the ball and score quickly. They just need to put it all together on one of these drives.
4th down and 4 from the 46. Johnston back out to punt. Wright is back deep. The lefty, Travis Johnston. A bouncer into the arms of Wright at about the 5. No room. Chase Whitty was there and dragged him down.
Man, Wright's probably one of the faster players on the Bethany Bison offense and really their whole team, and Chase Whitty was having none of it. Didn't let him get the edge. The wide receiver able to get down there and make the tackle.
Caleb Montgomery tried to get in on that tackle too, and Whitty had a bear hug on Wright and took him down himself. That's great field position for Case. Bethany has it on its own 9. So they've got to trudge 91 yards. Without eating too much clock, they have 2 timeouts left, under 8 minutes to play, down 2 scores. They'll go empty backfield. And Basin will run, tripped up for a 2nd, but gets a good gain on first down. That's a smart play call. Emptying the backfield in what feels like an obvious passing situation, and Basin had a lot of room.
Yeah, kind of spread it out, let the big man go to work. He's agile, he's fast. I like him at wide receiver, honestly. I've seen him do plenty of that, and I say that with the idea that he can also throw and also run. So really just a complete player at that quarterback position. Just hadn't been able to put it together here this afternoon.
A laser on 2nd and 1. It's intercepted by Colin Schuster. Ridden out inside the 15, and flags fly for a likely face mask.
I think 3 Case Western defenders had a chance at that interception, and finally on the 3rd one, Schuster's able to take it in, you know, totally flip the field position and put the Spartans right back out there. And I mean, inside the 20, it's a dangerous spot to be.
Colin Schuster with his 2nd interception of the year. He had 3 last year to tie for the team lead. And the sophomore out of Illinois.
Personal foul, face mask. It's excuse me. Number 61. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Face mask on Brandon Sibley, who is the guy who was flagged earlier in this game for the block from behind. The blindside block. Now he gets called for the face mask, and Case will have the ball on the Bison's 6-yard line on 1st and goal. A touchdown could put this one pretty well out of reach. Saxton to pitch. Johnston tripped up in the backfield. Phil Taylor's had a phenomenal game for Bethany defensively, and he swims across to make the stop.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, probably 90% of the time they've been in that I formation. It's been a power sweep left or a power sweep right, and Bethany finally, I guess, got sick of that and ran a guy out there and put a stop to it. So Case Western bringing the normal spread formation back out there. Brett Carney going in. It's most of the time going to be a pass. He's been pretty solid in pass protection, and we'll see. Maybe they go back to the air. I think Coach Deblack is pretty intent on getting another score here.
2nd and goal from the 8. Case leading by 2 scores. Carney the lone man in the backfield. Saxton, fade, back corner, batted away by Eggleston. The pass was intended for Rabina, but Eggleston climbed the ladder.
That was a great play by Eggleston. He was actually covering Wykowski there on the full outside, and he read the slot fade, able to come off his man and come over the top, and that's something that Saxon didn't necessarily account for. He put a pretty good throw on the ball, and looked like Rabina was going to come down, and Eggleston's able to come over the top and swat it away.
The senior Curon Eggleston setting up 3rd and goal from the 8. Thanks to our crew, as always. Shayna Perlman, Brian Landers, Brian Trail, Mike Becker in the booth. Andrew Rossman to my right. I'm Andrew Luftglass. Saxton for Morgan. Touchdown! And that will tie a Spartan program record.
He's breaking records all over the place today. And, we'll pull out the saying, death, taxes, Colt Morgan fades on the red zone. And he's shown it's almost unstoppable. When he gets the right matchup down there, he has the body control, the vertical, and the concentration to go up and bring that down nearly every time that they run that play.
Colt Morgan has 31 career receiving touchdowns, tying the Spartan mark set by David Kalaveg from 01 to 04 and tied by Sean Nicely. He was on the 07 to 2010 teams. The PAT missed by Robertson Albrecht, but will have an offside penalty, it appears.
One of the cooler things is when Morgan came off to the side there.
Defense, number 2. Half the distance to the goal, try for point.
One of the first guys to greet Morgan, he's giving him a big hug right now, is Cam Brown. So 2 guys that broke significant program records today, and it's just cool to kind of see them celebrate their accomplishments so far.
So Morgan, Kalaveg, and Nicely all with 31 career receiving touchdowns. Colt in his freshman year was not much of a target for Rob Kuda. We're going to get another offside here. Rob just had so many options on the field when Colt was a freshman, and Morgan got a little more seasoning as a sophomore. Drew Saxton threw to him a ton last year.
Contact. Defense, number 92, half the distance to the goal, try.
And Colt, coming out of last year after setting a program record with 18 touchdowns, has now tied a program career record with 31. Albrecht, after 2 offside penalties on the Bison, punches that one through to make it 35-14. So Colt Morgan and Cameron Brown have some program record passing or tying marks today, and Case up 35-14 with 6:20 to go in the 4th quarter, perhaps minutes away from their 2nd PAC title in the last 3 years.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
There's a look at Colt Morgan, who has now tied the Spartan program receiving touchdown record with 31 on his career. His second touchdown catch today. He's caught 8 passes for 102 yards. Devon McWhirter on the kick return, as Bethany gets the ball with 6:15 to go in this one. Case had a disappointing first half, and on the flip side, you'd have to give a ton of credit to Bethany for punching them in the mouth and having this game tied going to the halftime break at 14-14. It's been a much different second half.
Yeah, Case Western, you could tell they were kind of sloppy in the first half, sleepwalking a little bit for whatever reason. Doesn't really matter. The
Illegal block on the back. Receiving team, number 9, 10-yard penalty. It's down.
important thing is Case Western is able to come out and really flip the script here in the second half. And, offensively, it's been much, much better. Defensively, I mean, they're pitching a shutout. Anytime you can pitch a shutout in any half of football is going to be a positive for them. So impressed by the adjustments that they made. Credit to the coaches and also the players for going out there and executing.
It's now Case up 35-14. There's a look at Greg Debelak, Spartan head coach, in his 16th year at the helm, looking for his 118th victory as the head man of this program. And trying to get this Case team to an 8-0 start on this year. Basin will run with the football. Gets away from Travis Johnston. Boy, he is shifty. A monster block from Raekwon Wright, and a flag flies on the near side.
Yep, that's what we were talking about earlier. 2 years ago, would have been fine. Nothing illegal about it, clean hit, but they've added that crackback block into the rule book and just can't do it anymore. Players got to learn to adjust, and it's just got no place anymore.
Raekwon Wright on DJ Wolf. And now Jimmy Burks, our head referee, has some words for somebody on the Spartan sideline. There are 3 flags on this play, and I wonder if any of them are against the Spartans for talking from that sideline.
Well, I got to give a shout-out to the back judge. He is about at the midfield logo and got a 40-yard flag toss in, so good for him.
That's a
Personal
cannon.
foul, blindside block, number 1 of the offense. After this to the goal, replay the down.
So nothing on the Spartans there for verbal retaliation. Wright came screaming across the field to make that crackback block. So 1st and long from the 15. 1st and 12. Basin over the middle, intercepted by Patrick Crossy. Down the right sideline, tripped up at the 5 by the right guard, Brandon Sibley. And another flag flies.
Yep, that'll be an unsportsmanlike. Yeah, and Case Western is just totally taking over the game. You can see Bethany kind of getting back to what we thought they were going to be, just penalized, not real disciplined. And Case Western is able to wear them out today. In the 4th quarter, it's really accelerated. It's really shown how much of a difference there are between these two teams.
Sideline interference on Case Western, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
They had gotten a warning earlier in this game, so maybe that's no surprise.
Yeah, just overexcited, just little things, and fortunately for Case, they're in a position where that's not going to be a huge deal, not going to have a huge impact on the game, but it's something you got to clean up.
Crossy was the only man who could have caught that football. Second interception by Case today. Now good field position for Drew Saxton. Day and Carney in the backfield. And Day is wrestled to the turf by Anthony Fiasco.
Yeah, and Bethany's kind of selling out. They're bringing both safeties down. They know the run's coming. Everyone in the stadium knows the run's coming in case Western's going to try and settle in, just chew some clock, get a first down here. They have room for one first down, and then be a goal-to-go situation.
Yeah, you saw Keandre Murphy rushing down from safety even before that ball was snapped.
And if you're Case Western, 2 hands on the ball. Can't afford to have a turnover here. Just ball security, execute, you'll get out of here with a win.
4 wide, Saxton. The handoff to Day. Tried to spin away from Mike Berry, who wrapped up his ankles. It'll bring up 3rd down. 2 things, protect the football, and as you mentioned, Andrew, this type of game can get chippy late, so stay safe out there too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to rub it in or anything, and sometimes you'd be tempted to do it, especially as you get a score that looks more like this. And like we said, get out of here with the win, get out of here healthy, and realize you got bigger goals on the season.
3rd and 5 from the 13. Speaking of staying safe, the Spartans have to be very happy that Travis Johnston, who was injured in the first half, was not only able to come back, but stay in every phase of the ball game.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a tough kid. Good to see him back out there. Looks like Case is going to have their first field goal attempt here.
Robertson Albrecht will come out. Bryce Rohrbaugh on that stop of Donald Day to set up 4th down. Albrecht is 5 of 7 on field goal attempts this year. This will be from 30. Ryan Coolidge to hold. Albrecht from the left hash. Hits the right upright. So the 3rd miss of the year for Albrecht. Case will come away with no points here. But Bethany, down 3 scores, has a very long way to go.
Yeah, and with everything we said, obviously Case Western kind of closing down the playbook, not going back to the air. And listen, they can throw up fade routes to Colt Morgan in the end zone all day long if they wanted to. But at this point, game's pretty much in hand. 21-point game, just looking to burn some clock. And now we see on the defense starting to rotate some guys in, get some of the younger guys some experience, and like we said, make sure that everybody gets out of here healthy and ready to roll for next week's game.
There's Jack Baker checking in on the defensive line.
Looks like Cooper Tulloch, my favorite number on the team, 26.
It's your old marker, yeah?
That's the rumor.
Tom Salinetro pitches and catches with his other quarterback, Carlin Basin.
There's our guy Money. Like I said, if he gets going in the right direction and he's coming downhill, it's going to be a pretty ugly collision. And that's what I like about seeing these young guys get in here. Sometimes they're not going to be in the best position. They're not going to know what the heck they're doing. They're just out there running around, having fun, making big hits, and enjoying that they're getting in the football game.
For Money, a senior, playing in his last game at home, along with 16 other Spartan seniors, trying to seal this one up. Basin over the middle, tipped, incomplete. DJ Wolf nearly intercepted it, and then it popped straight up in the air for Cooper Tulloch, who couldn't run under the football. 3rd down.
I will say, this is valuable. I don't want to make it sound like this is, just free-for-all out there. 2 years ago, I know Luke Bedell, who's in the game now, came in the 4th quarter. Kevin Christus got injured against Carnegie Mellon, and Luke Bedell came in cold off the bench. It was 30 degrees outside, and he had to come in and make a big stop to save the season. So anytime you can get experience with stuff like this, doesn't matter. It's all valuable. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to get thrown in the 2nd quarter or 1st quarter of a game.
Salinetro over the middle to Hunter Klein. Loses the football. Bedell falls on it. The Spartans create another turnover, and they'll wrap this one up to go to 8-0.
Turnovers, name of the game. The Spartans defense is a menace out there. Once they're getting turnovers, this team is very, very difficult to stop.
Bethany has 2 timeouts left. The Spartans may be able to take the clock all the way down to zeros on this drive, depending on how well they're able to move the ball. Mason G. Montgomery will come in at quarterback. Case 2 minutes and 43 seconds away from winning the second PAC title in program history. They'll take home a share of the title today. Give up the middle. Kyle Tarkovsky on that handoff. So they'll get a share of the PAC title once this one is over. And then they'll have 2 cracks on the road at winning just 1 game to win the title outright. They'll get Waynesburg on the road next week, a 1:30 start, and then they'll have the Academic Bowl at Carnegie Mellon the week following, a 2 o'clock kickoff. You really would want to wrap it up next week.
Yeah, let's not play around. Let's just take care of business next week and celebrate and move on to the next one.
On 2nd down and 6. Handoff is to Jack McCray. That'll bring it inside the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, and like we keep touching on, this is step 1. This is clinching a share of the conference title, and next step is winning it outright. Go ahead. You got 2 games to do it. One of them against your arch-hated rival Carnegie Mellon, and that's looming 2 weeks down the road. But first, you got to take care of business next week, win the conference outright, and then you can focus on Mellon.
7 UAA championships in Spartans football history, 1 since joining the PAC in 2017. Handoff to McCray. He'll spin across the 40 for a 1st down. Looks like Bethany is not even going to bother to use its last timeouts. But we have an injury on the field. There's McCray. Just coming into this ball game, the freshman out of Oceanport, New Jersey, and Marine Academy of Science and Tech. Being tended to by the training staff. Now 1:04 to go in this one. Case up 35-14 over Bethany. And as they check out, Jack McCray will step aside.
Inova Living is a modern, amenity-rich residential community located in Cleveland's Greater University Circle neighborhood, offering studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy all-inclusive living with convenient on-site shopping, 24-hour concierge services, a 24-hour fitness center, resident lounge, and more. All within close proximity to Case Western Reserve University. Inova Living online at inovaliving.com.
About to seal this thing. Mason G. Montgomery takes a knee, and the Spartans are going to go to 8-0 on the year, 7-0 in the PAC, and on senior day in Cleveland, Case clinches its 2nd PAC title in program history.
Yeah, put another number up on the board. It's something that these guys set out to do at the beginning of the year and able to achieve their first goal. It's a true testament to the coaching staff, all the players, training staff, everybody keeping this team healthy, getting them out there undefeated season, and hey, they keep rolling on.
A share of the PAC title. The Spartans 2nd in the last 3 years. They were 7-time UAA champs. And in the next 2 weeks, they've got to win just 1 of those games in order to clinch their first outright PAC title. Case 35, Bethany 14.